last time you delivered something which was quite as emphatic and brought India closer to global benchmarks is when you dramatically reduced the corporate tax rates in the country. And at that time, it didn't quite pan out the way you would have imagined for factors completely beyond your control. There was COVID, industry investment didn't quite take off in the way that you'd calculated. How confident are you that this time round, the estimates or the hope that you have with the reduction in GST rates will actually get passed on to consumers and lead to a virtuous cycle of consumption which ultimately spurs the growth rate of the Indian economy, madam?
I'm very confident. And I say this because I have complete trust on our industry and on our traders. Because I think people know, because after all, industry or traders themselves are consumers as well. So when they know that across the board, rates have been brought down, and I've said this several times before, the guiding principles were for me looking at those which are daily consumption items for all Indian citizens, particularly for the middle class and the poor people, and then that which is aspirational items for the middle class, looking at farmers for their inputs, MSMEs because they are going to have to drive this Indian economy. Already they are about 40% in the engineering sector and so on. So we have looked at all these, I've mentioned 4, the 5th being those which are very critical for the Indian economy at large. So these 5 filters were the one with which I looked at rate rationalization. So I am of the impression that 140 crore Indians will have one or the other thing touching them from 22nd September, where they will see that the government's taxation reduction has come through. Government meaning the GST councils. So I'm very confident because if it touches 140 crore people and it is not one section here, one section there, the persons who have got to pass the tax forward to the consumer are all consumers themselves in the first place. So it will have to get transferred.